22nd December 94. Ravina and I were now parents. Flowers beamed around us. Fairies descended on the roof. My dad recollected all the stories he narrated to me, and my mom recalled her lullabies. Ronit's arrival saw everyone get busy. Grandfather got busy fulfilling each and every demand. Clothes, Batman, Spider-Man. Neeta's arms seemed his constant abode. Neeta is younger to me. The sound of Tapan's scooter and Ronit lovingly calling him Fufu, finding sister's true love with the arrival of Urja. The days appeared to have developed wings. Crawling along on his knees, one never realized when he crossed over from the nursery to the football grounds. St. Mary's Convent witnessed his childhood and his teens as well. His school still remembers him. He was once the house captain here. After securing good scores in his 12th, we checked several colleges, even in Mumbai. But he preferred the Fergusson College in Pune, 2012. And the course for education was set: psychology. Ravina wasn't happy. Couldn't bear to see her child go that far off. But the dreams in his twinkling eyes, however, elicited a yes. The mother-son shared a unique relationship. They were friends. He shared everything with Mama. Ravina was a favorite with his friends too. Over the period, good chicken joints were charted in Pune. After all, he was a foodie, made new friends, and found the old ones from Ujjain. These kids often met, and we kept abreast with all developments. Prakash Lodge, JM Road, his first abode here. By God's grace, everything seemed perfect. As was the case, we had got used to spending some time of the year without Ronit. But Ravina's anxiety had slowly turned into depression. Ronit cleared his first 2 years with a first class, secured his certification course in American Diploma, and in 2015, in his final year, joined the IMFS for his GRE coaching. For his masters, he wanted to go to the US. We all were very happy. Summers stood for Ronit's homecoming. Such was the unaccountable excitement that it reminded one of the New Year celebrations. Our happiness couldn't be restrained. Hugging our baby, lying close to him, our yearning seemed answered. The refrigerator was filled with varieties of chicken, and the house with the laughter of his friends. They too had been eagerly awaiting these evenings. Friends were the soul of my son's life. We knew the price we were paying for his bright future. Hardly had we started enjoying his homecoming that the time for him to go back tiptoed silently. His 2015 May-June holidays had got over. He had to reach Pune. Forms for his final year were to be filled. We were once again disconsolate. Our exhilaration of the past days subsided. And as usual, we silently assured each other, Pune wasn't far off. Just an overnight journey. We could visit whenever we wished to. And Ronit left. It was the first week of July. His roommate had taken a new flat, and he himself had bought a two-wheeler, Dio, in his second year. He disliked bikes, always wanted a light vehicle. Everything was going fine. As for minor illnesses, like cough and cold, he treated them himself, and that too without any medicines. He never told us either. It was his voice that often gave away. He had a deep voice, extremely sensitive, just like my dad. On 15th and 18th August, we celebrated our birthdays. How we wished that he too came over and we celebrated together. But he was busy. I have GRE classes, Mama. We relented. After all, he was there to study, and we had no business to disturb him. Rather, it was decided that Ravina would go there on the 23rd August. Reservations were taken care of, and Ronit excitedly churned out a wish list. Mama, get bhakarwadi, sev, and mixture in large quantities. We'll all eat it together. 15th arrived and went past. We somehow managed to celebrate the birthday. It was the first time that he wasn't with us, but on the 18th he called up. Happy birthday, Papa. I was thrilled. As always, we had dinner in the hotel. I, Ravina, Neeta, Tapan and Mom, but for the first time without him. However, in our hearts, he was seated with us on the next chair. He had told me, I've got a cat. She stays with me. I like it. Living away from home, he was learning a lot, helping others. Sharing their sorrows, however, was already in his DNA. But now he was up full nights, counseling his new and old friends, those who were scared, overwhelmed with life and its complexities. One of his friends once said, "How many people like him would you find, uncle? I'm proud that he's my friend." That was Ronit. For everyone. Always. He was fond of shoes and clothes. Did his online shopping after consulting his mom. Enjoyed going to hotels too. But simplicity was your hallmark. We were never embarrassed on our nurturing. You were so lovable, Ronit. A good-hearted soul. However, from the evening of 20th August, something seemed amiss. The ambience at home felt leaden. We ignored it. Home without kids, anyways, turns depressing. In the evening on 20th August, Ronit called up his grandmother. She expressed her disapproval. "You're not putting on weight." "It's too late now," he had replied. He spoke with his granny about his college, his studies, and that he'll be eating out with his friends today. After his phone calls, we always discussed it amongst us, spoke about him. But that day, God knows why, no one mentioned about this call from Ronit. It was 10 in the night. The discomfort was growing. I couldn't take it any longer. Eventually asked Ravina, "Should I call Ronit?" She, however, assured, "Just spoke with him yesterday. Take it easy. Go to sleep." Our eyes were devoid of any sleep. Choti, Ronit's pet name. His mama called him by that name. "Have your dinner on time." Ravina had dropped a small message on her son's mobile. It was 11. We somehow just tossed and turned on the bed, barely able to sleep. Just then, my mobile sprang to life. Late night calls often tend to increase the heartbeats. And here things were different. Ronit was in Pune. Ronit's friend Vishal's father had called. I went numb. Ronit had met with an accident while returning from the mall. He was in the ICU. Ravina hurled questions at me. What could I say? I was as uninformed as her. All I knew was that he was with 2 of his friends. I immediately called Sanjay. Tapan came over. Nobody knew what to do. Ravina packed her bags for 5-6 days. "Take a small bag," Tapan said. "Why? He'll be treated there. Won't we have to stay back?" A shiver went through my spine. What was the matter? How would he be? Where was he hurt? We were in the dark, and we reached the Indore airport to catch the first flight. The silence was deafening. I sat holding Ravina's hands. Life was testing us. Sadhna Dee's husband called from Pune. "Come quickly, Nitin," he said. They had reached the Sassoon hospital. Ronit was there. We comforted each other all along the way. Crying, touching, speaking. The stopover at Mumbai was a difficult time to kill. Somehow we reached Pune. Ranjit was at the airport along with Pramod Sharmaji's friends. As we sat in their cars, my heart sank. Why so many people? And that too, those whom we didn't know. Our journey ended at the Sassoon hospital. The dreadful silence chased us here too. Our suspicions were mounting. Oh God, help us. Dazed and struggling, we searched for the ICU board, which was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, Ravina started screaming. Her voice cracked up. "Where have you got us? What's the matter?" She had seen the morgue. We had people with us, holding us. But we didn't need anything now. We were robbed of our child. Our baby had left us. We no longer needed anyone, not even us. Leaving Ravina under the tree, I went back inside, in the mortuary. I wanted to meet him. Right then. The staff opened the box. There he was. Open eyes and a smiling face. Ronit greeted me. The dreams in his eyes were still alive. I thought he'd hug me. I touched his cheeks lightly, kissed him, and stepped out to a massive chaos outside. Ravina's condition had worsened. An ECG was taken. Along with Ravina, Sanjay, and I somehow managed to take the flight back to Indore. Owing to the incomplete papers, Ronit was not allowed on the flight. Tapan brought him back by ambulance. Ronit reached the next morning. Prayers were held. The school's principal, staff, our friends, relatives, the whole city gathered. He was to be the pallbearer for me, but I was forced to be the one. My only son, just 21 years old. No one was willing to say how he departed. He was probably driving, had a dreadful collision with the pole. That too on a due. Probably a high-speed crash. Must have been unintentional fun. His roommate, who was with him, developed selective amnesia. CCTV footage too did not reveal anything. And their other friend had already parted earlier. The police were done with their formality. These police, government hospitals, all run on our taxes, our money. Then why don't they work for us? Why do we have to always plead with them? This entire system is a failure. Despite the Supreme Court decree, the wounded lie on the streets and ambulances are nowhere to be seen. Witnesses are uninformed and the society largely insensitive. Leave aside the medical aid. God knows how long my son would have laid there had Nitish Sarkar not rushed him to the hospital. If only they had reached a bit earlier. They say my baby was still breathing when they reached the hospital. But there were additional delays. They didn't even have a cloth to put on his body. Government paperwork further ate into the crucial time. In the meantime, He left. It was too late. You know, Ronit, you had a deep gash in your head, towards the front. The same head which your mama often kept in her lap and pressed during your severe headaches. You may have gone, but you have left your lamenting family behind. Dadi, me, Mama, Bua, Fufu, Urja, and all your friends. You were, after all, the soul of their gatherings. In my pain of losing you, I seem to be forgetting your Nani, Mosi, Mausa, Tikku. They too must be yearning for you. Like other festivals, this Holi too was spent crying. We earlier celebrated it with zest. I used to bathe you on the day of the Holi, vigorously rub the colors of your body. But you have wiped out the colors of her life, son. Neeta, Tapan have grown quiet. Her house buzzed with excitement on Bhai Dooj. You and Urja and you. Your Nani always prayed for you. She too is disconsolate now. Wherever you are, son, are you happy there? We miss you a lot, son. From early morning, your memories seem to travel from one room to the other, and we chase your shadows, attempting to hug you, but you are nowhere to be seen. I have invented ways to be with you, Ronit. Look, your shoes. Nowadays I wear them. Upon wearing your jacket, it seems as if I have found you, touched you. Even if it's just for a split second, you are with me. Mama hasn't washed some of your clothes. After all, they carry your fragrance in them. You are with me on my morning walks, matching my steps. They say you are no longer alive, but you live in our hearts as our heart beats. You have always been a very loving child, son. Never ever gave us an opportunity to complain till the last day. The day when you went to the mall with your friends on your due to hang out, eat, have fun. Isn't this the place of that ill-fated accident on your way back? How often did we tell you not to ride without a helmet? You heeded to everything except this. You should have bought it. This was vital. Wish you had worn a helmet. Wish. We had bought and given it to you. Perhaps this, maybe that, probably. It's just a series of ifs and buts now.